The evening started like any other, quiet and routine. I had just finished cleaning up the dinner dishes when I felt the familiar tightness in my lower back. It had been bothering me for weeks, but like any single mom who didn't have time to slow down, I kept pushing through. My name is Lisa Parker. I'm 42 years old, and for the past 15 years, I've been raising my son, Ethan, on my own in a small town just outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. He's 17 now, tall, smart, and more responsible than most kids his age. I've always been proud of how grounded he's turned out despite everything life has thrown at us. That night, I bent forward to pick up a laundry basket and didn't make it back up. A sharp, shooting pain hit my spine and I collapsed to the floor with a gasp. I tried to cry out, but my breath had left me. Seconds later, I heard running footsteps. Ethan appeared in the hallway, his face pale with panic. "Mom, are you okay?" he said, kneeling beside me. I think I hurt my back," I managed to whisper. He didn't waste a second. He helped me sit up, then guided me to the couch and supported my weight like he'd done it before. "We're going to the hospital," he said, his voice shaking just slightly. At the ER, the doctor told us it was a moderate herniated disc. I'd need to rest, undergo physical therapy, and avoid lifting or twisting for weeks. That meant no work, no errands, and no standing for long periods. I looked at Ethan from my hospital bed, feeling helpless. "How are we going to manage this?" I asked softly. He looked back at me and said without hesitation, "Don't worry, Mom. I've got this." Ethan became my caretaker almost overnight. The boy who used to forget to take out the trash was now waking up early to make breakfast and helping me through stretches prescribed by the therapist. He'd prop up pillows to support my back, gently apply hot compresses when the pain flared, and even helped me shower with such care and patience that I couldn't help but cry a few times out of gratitude. "You're doing too much," I'd say. "You should be out with your friends, living your life." But he'd just smile and reply, "This is part of life, Mom. I'm where I need to be." It wasn't just the physical support. Ethan started grocery shopping, managed the bills with money he'd saved from his part-time job, and even arranged for a neighbor to check on us twice a week while he was at school. The shift in our relationship was subtle but profound. I had spent years being the strong one, the fixer, the provider. Suddenly, he was stepping into that role not because he had to, but because he wanted to. One night, I was lying on the couch watching an old movie when Ethan walked in with a bowl of soup he made himself. "Chicken and rice, just like you like it," he said. I smiled, deeply touched. As I ate, I couldn't help but think about how far we'd come. After his father left when Ethan was 2, there had been so many nights I cried myself to sleep, terrified I wouldn't be able to give him the life he deserved. But somehow, even in the hardest moments, we always found our way. As the weeks went by, my body slowly healed. I was able to stand longer, walk further, and sit without wincing. But the emotional healing was what surprised me most. There's something deeply humbling about needing help and receiving it with so much love. Ethan never complained. He never made me feel like a burden. He just showed up, every day, ready to do what needed to be done. We talked more than we ever had before. During long evenings on the couch, he told me about his dreams of becoming a physical therapist, inspired partly by the team we had worked with during my recovery. "I think I'd be good at it," he said one evening, looking unsure. "You'd be incredible," I replied. "You already are." I meant it. Watching him take care of me, with empathy and strength beyond his years, gave me a glimpse of the man he was becoming. And it filled me with pride I couldn't put into words. When I was finally strong enough to cook again, I made his favorite lasagna from scratch. It was the first full meal I'd cooked in over 2 months. When I placed it on the table, Ethan laughed. "Now I know you're really better," he teased. We ate and talked and laughed like we hadn't in weeks. I looked at him across the table and said, "You saved me, you know." He looked surprised. "I didn't do anything special," he replied. "You did everything," I said. And I'll never forget it. Months later, when I was fully recovered and back at work, Ethan came home from school with a letter in his hand. He had been accepted into a college program for pre-physical therapy students. It was his top choice. We hugged, and I cried, not out of sadness, but because I knew he was going to be okay. More than okay, he was going to do great things. That experience changed both of us. It taught me to receive love without guilt, to lean on others when I needed to, and to let go of the idea that being strong meant doing it all alone. For Ethan, it gave him confidence, purpose, and a sense of identity he might not have found otherwise. I still think about that time, especially when life gets hard. I think about the quiet strength of my son, how he showed up for me in ways I never expected. And I remember that sometimes, the hardest seasons bring the most beautiful growth. In the end, I didn't just heal from an injury. I witnessed the moment my son became a man.